As government tries to mobilize more resources to deal with the current food crisis in Karamoja, the government has identified a funding gap of $72.6 million, approximately 261 billion Uganda shillings, that is required to buy food in response to the crisis in Karamoja.
The six-pillar response requires 84.8 million of the period of December 2026. $12.16 million is currently available, leaving an initial financial gap of $72.64 million.
It's worth about $84 million, and the government has committed about $12 million, which is in the food that is being distributed across Karamoja. And so, you rightly said, we have an unfunded gap of about 80%.
According to the Minister for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Sam Engola, about 473,000 people in Karamoja are facing food shortages, and thousands of the children there could face acute malnutrition.
Ladies and gentlemen, Karamoja is facing a serious food and nutrition crisis where approximately 473,000 people, 32% of the region of 1.49 million people, are facing several food shortages. 581,000 people are at the risk. Over 30,000 children at risk.
The Office of the Prime Minister's technical team, led by Commissioner for Disaster, Davis Mwenyi, were tasked to come up with a Karamoja food security and nutrition crisis response plan to deal with the emergency.
This is just a response for this catastrophe, but we think it cannot be sustained for a long time. As we think for the immediate response, we must also be alive to what comes thereafter.
As you mentioned, Chair, this firefighting, it needs to be planned for. We need to end this kind of situation. That's why now we're talking about emergency. Now we're talking also about recovery period of 3 years, and then fully get into the Karamoja Regional Development Plan. The entire region, about 32% of the population are already in crisis. That is IPC 3 phase. And the figures of 30, those who are have severe acute malnutrition. The 91, those who are in moderate acute malnutrition.
Minister Sam Engola briefed the development partners and called upon them to support the people of Karamoja.
I therefore wish to appeal to the partners to make specific time-bound commitment through a monetary contribution.
If I speak to the Irish example, we are funding the work that WFP is doing on anticipatory action. We are funding the work that WFP is doing on SAGE and on school feeding.
The resident coordinator has recommended to allocate 10 to 15% of the second tranche of the Uganda Humanitarian Fund, the US funding through OCHA. The full package is 75 million, so 10 to 15% of that, it needs to go through various approval processes.
Because what we need to trigger the RRO is to have the response plan and to discuss with the Minister of Finance to sign the legal agreement to be able to put it in place. So with this RRO, we are able to mobilize up to 10% of the undisbursed balance in the portfolio.
Caritas Uganda are mobilizing resources, both financial and food. And already our first trucks have gone to Karamoja.
It was also revealed that the Global World Food Programme Executive Director will be visiting Uganda starting tomorrow, and that part of his mission to Uganda is to help the people of Karamoja.
Our acting executive director will be in Uganda from tomorrow evening and through Friday. He will meet with all key donors, and Karamoja and the wider El Nino impact is right at the top of his priority list. I know he's very keen to meet with you as well.